ট্ৰাইপডটো অলপ ভিতৰলৈ লৈ আছোঁ।
কোনফালে যাব লাগিব আহিছে ন? যোৱা আমি এটাহে পাম লাগিব আহে ন অনলাইন কৰিছোঁ দে আমাৰ আহি আছে চেল্ফি বা মন যায় হেই ইহঁতকেইটা ক'ত ঘূৰি আছে আৰে এই ষ্টেজত ধোৱা নাই কি চাচোন ক'ত ঘূৰি আছে ইহঁতে ওৱান
Namaskar. A very good evening to all of you. So dear guys, আমাৰ মাজত যিহেতুকে বহুতো অতিথি আছে যিসকলে অসমীয়া কথা বুজি নাপায় আপোনালোকৰ অনুমতি লৈ বাকিখিনি কথা মই ইংৰাজীতে আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাবলৈ আপোনালোকৰ অনুমতি বিচাৰিছোঁ। A very honored Manisha Koiralaji, Shinab Alam, the officials of the Brahmaputra Literary Festival led by Mr. Pramod Kolita Damaria. At the very onset, I would like to welcome you all to this beautiful evening for an interaction with the very renowned actress Manisha Koiralaji. It's indeed a great day for us today, and at the very onset, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Pramod Kolita Damaria to kindly honor Manisha Koirala Madam with a Fulam Gamasa. Thank you very much. The August gathering may be wondering as to why, how this gentleman is here sitting on the standing on the dais. I would like to thank Rahul Jainji for giving this opportunity to Deepshikha Foundation. I stand here on behalf of the foundation. I'm a worker in the foundation. I also work for the government of Assam in Mumbai. It is indeed a day of great importance to us because, Madam, we don't use the word survivor. We use the word fighter or victor. This lady standing here in front of you has written a beautiful book on how she was healed, how she dealt with cancer. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you read this book, I have read this book myself, it is not just her journey through cancer, it is a book which will inspire every reader to be a fighter, to understand the intricacies of the disease, not to have those misconceptions we have about cancer. I'm reminded of a page in her book where she talks of the initial shock when she was diagnosed with cancer and the journey thereafter. Today, we are here, Deepshikha is here because Madam and DLF has given us a chance to be a part of this journey where Madam is going to relate instances of how she tackled it all, of how she fought with the disease. I have been asked to speak a few words about Deepshikha. I know it very well, but if not, you've come here to listen to Madam. But ladies and gentlemen, it was a similar journey like Madam's. We work in Mumbai, and a lot of cancer patients come from Assam, from remote areas of Assam to Mumbai for advanced treatment. And you'll be surprised to know that half of them go back home without finishing their treatment because they would have sold off their land and property in the villages of Assam to remain alive, but all they thought of was the cost of treatment. Cancer, as we know, can be very expensive. A simple mastectomy in a hospital like Tata Hospital, which we know to be free, can cost you 70,000 rupees, which is quite a lot of money for a person who has just a small plot of land. Now, with a lot of advancement in Assam and the neighboring states, still a lot remains to be done. Except for Assam, little bit of Manipur and Mizoram, Arunachal is yet to have a proper cancer center. Tripura a bit. Assam definitely in terms of advancement is number one. But when we take the Northeast, the entire Northeast in general, the system, the whole scenario is pathetic. These are things we'll discuss today. In our own humble little way, we try to provide shelter to those people from Assam, patients, economically challenged patients from Assam who come to Mumbai. We are trying to run a hospice in Mirza. Hospice means a place where terminally ill cancer patients come. Most of these patients who come to us come in the late third or fourth stage. And the doctors at the Tata Memorial Hospital or Bibora Cancer Hospital or any hospital in Guwahati, they tell them that there's nothing much we can do. I wish you came earlier on. At that point in time, they need palliative care. So this is a palliative care center. A children's home, which Madam has just visited. These children, not all of us can go to Mumbai. Not all of us can go to Chennai. Today, I stand here in front of you to tell you about the hardships and the stage through which cancer patients from Assam undergo. It's very important for us to understand the situation today. And let me tell you, my dear friends, there is a lot to be done in the field of cancer. And I believe all of you, it is our mission to talk to people and make them understand the intricacies of cancer. Once again, I thank DLF for having given us this opportunity to speak a few words regarding Deepshikha, to be associated with this August gathering. I end here with this small appeal. We need to sow a thought, my dear friends. Let us sow a thought to reap an act, sow an act to reap a habit, sow a habit to reap a character, sow a character to reap a destiny. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce my friend Shanab Alam, a great friend of Deepshikha. Today, when he came to visit our homes in Mumbai, he said, Debashish, I'll try my best to do something. And lo and behold, Manisha ma'am is here with us today because of the efforts of Shanab Alam. I thank him. He is the producer of great films like Lunchbox, and we know Januda's Bhoga Khiriki, that was produced by Shanab. So I'd like to request Shanab to take this evening forward. Thank you very much, Shanab. Great friend of Deepshikha, we're really grateful to you. Please, over to you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. I got introduced as a film producer, but I started my career as a journalist. So it's an honor for me to sit next to this person who, with her beatific smile, charm, and gorgeous face, when she enters the cinema, she not only ruled the screen, she ruled our hearts. And she firmly is etched in our hearts even today. Ma'am, you're an inspiration, both on screen and off screen now. And I'm sure they want to listen to you. And I want to ask you the very, very first question. Being an actor, how did you turn into an author and think of writing the book Healed?
Namaskar. First of all, I would really want to say thank you for inviting me and letting me participate in this literature festival, Brahmaputra Literature Festival. And today I had the honors to visit the works of Deepshikha Foundation, and I'm very, very impressed with the work they're doing, the level of commitment they have. So I'm very impressed, and thank you, Devashish ji, for having me here. And coming to your question, basically, first of all, thank you for kind introduction. When I went through the diagnosis, I wanted to be an author since my childhood because I have been a reader and I have loved books. The only ambition that I had as a child was that when I grow old, my eyes should be intact so that I could read more books. So I guess there was a love affair with the books from childhood, and I wanted to be an author and a storyteller, but I never got around doing it. It was only during my cancer treatment that I really seriously thought of taking that up. And there was this Rinpoche who also mentioned that do keep notes so that you don't forget the lessons you learned during this phase. So they are the jewels. Do not forget them, so make notes. So I guess when I was Neelam Kumar, on me, and I wasn't ready for that, and then we kind of fell apart because she got busy with her project, I got busy with movies that I was offered, and eventually we got together and Penguin published this, and we came out with this book.
So tell me, you just mentioned that a bit of your motivation to write Heal also was to do with you going through the entire experience of cancer and coming out of it victoriously. I want to bring it straight down. Now, you are somebody who has faced this, and we just keep hearing about cancer theoretically. How important is early detection and screening?
Well, it is really important. One of the reasons, what I've understood about this disease and its treatment, and why in developed countries the rates of people dying of cancer is lesser, and why in developing countries people dying with cancer the rate is increasing and more, is because of lack of awareness, nothing more. It's basically there, the awareness has reached a level, there's a periodic checkups. So even if a patient gets a cancer, because there's awareness, it's get detected very early. And I was told 90% of the cases, if cancer is detected early, it's curable. And that's what is important and is required here, is to have a periodic checkups and early detection. So I guess other than that, what is really important is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So
you want to elaborate that, because you've been championing the cause of healthy lifestyle now. And
Absolutely.
how would you define healthy lifestyle?
I actually have put my life out there, so then people could learn from the mistakes I have done. One doesn't have to go through cancer to learn the valuing of life and valuing of your health, and that's the reason I go out and speak my story and tell people my story. What I have learned is that we really do not value our health till we reach hospital. Till somebody really diagnoses and something really serious happens, we keep the health at the back of our list. There's so many other things in our head, like our work pressure, this pressure, that pressure, but we never value. So that's why I go around talking that prioritize your health, prioritize your well-being. It's important to succeed. I'm a working person, I'm an ambitious person, I want to achieve a lot in my life, but I always keep a barometer of how much can I stretch myself, because I know I have gone through so much to recover this health, to get this health back. So I really request and urge everyone to prioritize your health. Now, how do I elaborate and what is a good health? I think everybody knows that. To eat well, there's so many pesticides, as water is polluted, but as much as humanly possible, to try and eat well, eat healthy, and eat well, exercise, be active, be a happy person. Today I met an incredible lady, I think she's 72, and she's 2 times cancer conqueror of 4th stage. And I was really intrigued with her, and I kept on asking her questions, and one of the things she kept on saying is be happy. And I was really, that is the key, is to be happy. Now people say, oh, there's so many problems are happening, how can we be happy? But I feel to be happy is our choice. Life can throw so many troubles there. All of us have problems. All of us, life is not bed of roses. Everybody has challenges, everybody has problems, but it's how we take the situation. Do we want to be the victim or we want to be the victor is in our hand. I feel that's why people who have this attitude of finding some lessons, even in the darkest of hours, they are the people who are winners. And that lady really reminded me of that. So she really symbolized, to me, was to be happy is really our choice. And it is utmost important to be healthy and happy, you know. And also, for me, when I was sick, and I really wanted to get my health back, so I started trying to understand. I was reading a lot of books. I was listening to a lot of audiobooks. I was Googling and researching and talking to a lot of doctors and experts about how to get my health back. And in that whole process, what I understood was that physical body is one aspect, but equally important is our mental health, our emotional health. So how do we keep that in balance? How do we live a balanced life? That's another thing that we need to look into. We are eating right, we are going to a right doctor, but somewhere if we have a baggage and we have resentments or hurt or anger and we've not dealt with that, I wonder if we can completely heal if we don't look after our emotional or mental stuff. So all the levels of our well-being we need to look into. Our physical health, for the physical health, as I said, eating right, giving proper rest, equal amount of exercise. Our emotional health is somehow to deal with our issues, if there are any issues, any resentment, any hurt, work on that. Our mental health is equally important. So all that comes under being happy, being content. Also, in profession, I feel all of us have a gift. In whichever field we are in, if we are actually thriving in that, we are really competent, we are excelling in that, that also adds into our well-being, so there's so many, it's a long topic that can go on.
But it's also very important. And that 72-year-old lady that she's referring to completed the walk today that we had to fight the walk against cancer, and her energy was infectious. I want to bring you straight into a very sort of sensitive topic about female-related cancer, right? These are things that we don't usually talk about and we tend to sort of, skim over. In our developing countries, especially in South Asia, right, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, the female hygiene and health has been often neglected. And I'd like you to sort of talk about it a little more.
I don't know about you all, but it's certainly in my family. I keep on telling my mom, because we are a product of patriarchal society. And having said that, it means that whenever the husband or the son or the father becomes the central figure, and it's invariably it's women who are looking after, and women are life givers and caregivers as well. And what happens is they are not trained to look after themselves. What happens when they fall sick? Who looks after them? And that's where I feel it's really important for women to start valuing, if they are healthy, if they are well, and if they are happy, automatically, that love will flow over and they will support. But in our families, I feel women do tend to get slightly, sidelined. Whenever they have fever, I want their husbands to be as worried when the husbands are sick and wives are worried. So I would want to see equality in each and every family.
Yeah, I know, because something that I want to share with everyone here is a thing that I've read, and I was also informed about in a little more detail by Devashish, that there is something called HPV vaccine. It's called human papillomavirus vaccine, which apparently, if it is given to a girl child, it prevents cervical cancer. And I wonder why it is not part of, and it's a little expensive, it's 7,000 or 8,000 rupees. or a vaccine. I don't understand when we talk about Beti Bachao, the girl child, why can't this vaccine be a part of a program that is given to every girl child, So that brings me to the point of quality of medical facilities regarding cancer in our developing countries. What do you think? Because you've gone through it.
Yeah, basically, I don't know much. What I have understood, the difference that I have seen is, of course, the healthcare system. And like my bua got, because she was doing periodic treatment, she lives in Virginia, and she was diagnosed at 0 stage breast cancer. And so number one, there is this healthcare system is very, that even if the patient forget, the doctors or the nurses, not the doctors, sorry, the hospital, the nurses or the assistants, they call and say, oh, you've forgotten your checkup, and you please come for the checkup. So there is a certain system which makes, which is there for everybody, which is lacking here, I feel, number one. Number two, I feel, if I am, is basically the doctors, they specialize on specific part of the body, and they do that over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So they kind of become masters in that part of the body. Like for instance, I had an ovarian cancer, so I chose the best ovarian cancer surgeon, and apparently little bit of cancer was spread to my liver. Now my ovarian cancer surgeon did not touch my liver, though he could have. So the other liver specialist came and he did the operation on me. So I guess because they focus on one aspect of the body and they become master in that one part of the body. So I guess that's why the surgeries are better.
So let me ask you point blank, the medical treatment, quality of the medical treatment here as opposed to in the West, in the US, is the difference just in awareness, or is it also the way they treat?
I guess there are more funds over there. There are a lot more researchers over that is happening. The post-care after the operation, because of a hygienic level, it could be better. I have to say though in America, my oncologist was Indian American. My surgeon was Dr. G. He was from but he was also Asian American. So I mean, a lot of Asians have gone and established themselves in the United States. So and I know some brilliant doctors in India, and I know some in Nepal. Few cancer patients who were treated and they're fine. So I really don't know what is really lacking, but in my thing, as I saw, probably as far as I know, it's just a specialize in one area, that makes a person more, I guess, expert in that. Other than that, I think we are highly qualified here. But of course, we do need a supporting system. We do need a good healthcare thing to fall back on, and so on and so forth.
Yes, so awareness plays a role. And
absolutely, awareness is definitely the key. Early detection.
I'd like to appeal everybody here that I think we all need to do our bit, a small bit, to try and see as far as how much we can do to various hospitals, doctors, organizations that are engaged in cancer care, and try and spread the word around. I'd like to take this opportunity to address a very specific thing that the doctor once told me in Bombay. The statistics we all know, I think most of us know that the number of cases of cancer is highest in the Northeast, from the Northeast. And I asked the doctor why. He said there are various reasons, and then he says the highest number of cases of cancer amongst all of that is with ENT. So, tobacco obviously is a problem, but we in the Northeast have a habit of having the Tamil and soon Chuna, right? Apparently, these two things, when Tamil is not dried, when we have a habit and we love our Tamil, mixed with Chuna is straight poison. And I want to tell this to everyone. And this is an opportunity, I think, I don't know how many of us know this, but it's worse than any other kind of catalyst for cancer. Which let me come back now. Today you went to the children's home, Shishu Ashraya Sthal of Deepshika Foundation. What was your feeling and how was it?
Well, again, I'm in full admiration of Deepshika Foundation. They're doing incredible work. When I went to the children's home, I realized somebody has already achieved my dream. And that was actually for me, I wanted to open a dharmshala or some kind of a home where poor cancer patients who come to who come to Mumbai and they cannot afford to stay in a high priced rented apartments, or they come to Tata. So here, Deepshika Foundation has already made a home for cancer patients. As we all know that cancer treatment is, it takes long time. It's expensive. Other than that, it's long. It's like at least 6 months and beyond. So for those 6 months, where would they stay? And it's not only the patient, it's the family members who are also with the patient. So normally the rentals are so expensive. As Devashishji was saying that they come they keep in mind the treatment money, but they forget that they have to pay the rental, how would they? So most of them, they actually return without taking the full treatment because they can't afford it. So here the children's home was for all cancer affected children. They can come and stay free of cost, and I think food and the stay is available for them while they're taking treatment in the hospital. So it's incredible work. Hats off to Deepshika Foundation. They're doing really good work. Really.
Okay, now that you have said that you love books and you always wanted to be an author and you have become one, will more books follow?
Absolutely. I have many stories to tell. I don't know if it's going to be as good or not, but I have many stories in my head. I hope someday I would, maybe this year itself, I will, towards the end of this year, I will start penning it again.
Super. But we are already very happy that after a break, you have come back into cinema, and I'd like you to talk a little more about that, because of course you never went out of our hearts, but now that you're back on the screen, it'll be great. And I take the liberty of saying that we'll very soon see Manisha along with our very own Adil in an international project. I'm letting the cat out. So please talk a little more about that.
It's I feel really honored and loved. So many people have embraced me as an actor, and so I think it's a huge. I feel so much of love, and I feel such huge amount of gratitude that I receive so much of love. It's very humbling. I love my work. I love films. I love acting. So always in the back of my head when I was in hospital, that I was thinking that when I'm well, I want to act again, and I want to act in good cinema, and I want to work with good directors and good actors, and so here I am again, and I did Dear Maya, I did Sanju, I did Love Stories, and there are a few interesting projects. Adil is from here, and he's such a brilliant actor. He's such a brilliant actor. I'm a big fan of his work. So is Seema Biswas, I had an opportunity to work with her in Khamoshi. She's a brilliant actor, and in fact, right before I was diagnosed in Kathmandu, I was watching her play, and After 2 or 3 days, I was diagnosed actually. Just before that, I was watching it. So she's also an incredible actor. So it's my, and she's also from here. So I am very keen to be working with Adil in our project. Yeah.
Friends, Manisha Koirala, I don't know if is a better example than her as far as this human spirit is concerned. And I think she deserves a standing ovation. Thank you very much. I think that was a nice conversation. I'm honored. I don't know if anybody wants to ask a question, but okay, so I can give you the mic.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is that you fight the cancer and you are back to the film. My just one question is, what is your favorite film from the beginning till Sanju? And also you did Sanju and you played a role of Nargis, and also Nargis was battling from cancer. She also died from cancer. And while shooting, what was your feeling?
Basically, there were few directors that I really enjoyed working with: Mani Ratnam sir, Sanjay Bansali, Mansoor Khan. So I enjoyed working with good directors, and I guess all of these brilliant directors that I worked with, I have enjoyed. Be it Dil Se, Bombay, be it Khamoshi, Akele Hum Akele Tum. So all of these are my favorite. Of course, Sanju. Figure of Indian cinema, and she's not only the most gorgeous, but so super talented. How will I portray? And then also, of course, the fact that she had the same element. So I was very shaky and nervous, but I'm glad it went through well.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I have just one question. You know, when a person is diagnosed with cancer, it's not the only person, but also his or her family members that go through a mental trauma. So, what are the suggestions that you suggest that a family of a cancer patient do to make the person comfortable?
Couple of things that I really want to say is now more and more research is being done. And I was very curious, so I used to ask a lot of oncologists, a lot of doctors, that why certain patients do well and why certain patients don't do well. And one of the common thing that I heard was, patients who do well, they have great family support. So that means for our well-being, for our health, it is so important to have good circle of love. You know, people who care for us, person who really loves us. So, and in Harvard also, there was a study which talks about, how happiness is related to health. So, in times of difficulty, it's when our relationship is tested. It's when it becomes either it becomes strong or it falls apart. So I feel a good family support. You rightly said when you said cancer doesn't only affect the patient but the family around, and I could see that in my family. I could see how helpless they were feeling. They wanted to help me. They wanted to do something, but they couldn't. And it's a long process. So it is a lot of trauma for the family member. And I feel sometimes for the family member it's that and support each other in crisis.
So the question,
you mean to say people who grow older who don't look beautiful?
Yes, the beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. And welcome to Assam. My question is, what do you say about God and his or her blessings in terms of people who are suffering with disorders, fighting it out?
Sorry, what was exactly?
What do you say on God or the Almighty and his or her support and assistance to us human beings who are fighting with cancer or other disorders? What is the role of God?
Are you an atheist by any chance?
No way at all. I respect all religions.
Okay, so I was just having a conversation today, and I feel whom do you pray to doesn't matter so much as with what kind of faith and belief you're praying. Because I feel the strength is in our faith. The strength is in our belief system, more than anything else. So if you really have full faith, it's definitely going to help.
Good evening, Manisha. I am a professor here in the institution. So I have seen most of your films and I highly appreciate the way you have acted. I am a fan of you. And I salute your spirit to come back from such a drastic sequences. My best wishes for your career. Now, as far as question is concerned, I have a small question, not related to the illness, but from a different perspective. As we know that mainly this society is a patriarchal society, and most of the Bollywood films has a hero, a male-oriented script, and a hero is there. But slowly now the concept is changing as the multiplexes come. Now, when you come back again, do you have a plan to act in an woman-oriented film where a woman is playing a leading role? That's my question.
I think any actress would love to do a role which is a female-centric role and female-centric film. And you rightly said, times are changing. The audience are accepting different kinds of cinema, different kinds of stories are being told. And so there are many strong women character in the movies today, which we didn't have it. But you know, earlier on, I think golden era of Indian cinema had brilliant actresses and very strong and powerful. Only in between, I think we somehow deviated. And it's again coming back to more than the hero and heroine. I think now the main driving is a script, the story, and how well it's been executed. That is. But yes, I'm an actress, and I would love if I could play a role of protagonist.
It's a fitting finale that the last question must come from the host, the Brahmaputra Literary Festival chairman.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
If God was to give you the magical chance of living your life all over again, what would you do differently?
Actually, this is my second chance to life, because I was diagnosed with late stage cancer and I wasn't sure whether I was going to live or not. So I, for very long time, there was a dagger above my head. I wasn't sure whether the treatment is going to work and will I survive or not. I didn't know whether I was going to live for another 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or 25 years. I had no idea. So in that phase, I was actually contemplating, and I started doing reflective, and I started seeing, you know, if this is what life is, how did I live my life, and what are the things which was correct, which was incorrect, and how would I, if I got a second chance to life, how would I live? So, in a lot of introspection, I spent a lot of time on introspection, and I realized that I had few pockets. All of us have only few pockets, which are important to us. Like for me, I'll give an example. Like for me, my work, film, and creative expression are important. For me, my family is important. For me, my health has become like very, 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 very important. And for me, serving people in some smaller capacity is important. So there were few pockets in my life which I really wanted to live each pocket with 100% capacity. I wanted to have quality time with my family. I really wanted to have a strong bond with my family. Now, having said that, it's not as if every time, you know, I'm a goody-goody girl. I have fights with my parents. I have fights with my friends. But back of it all, there is a strong trust and strong respect and strong knowing that, you know, I have a bigger picture in my head. And I know that what I'm spending time with them is really, really valuable. So it's all about prioritizing. And for my work, because this work is my backbone, because it's something that I really love, I must honor the projects that I take on. So it's no longer how much money I'm earning. Of course, money becomes important, but more than that, will I enjoy my work while I'm on set? Will I really feel good? Because filmmaking is such a long process, sometimes more than a couple of months. And will I really enjoy the company of the directors and the actors and people involved in the project? So the whole way of looking at life changes. So everything I started seeing things from valuing my time, valuing other people, and basically in constantly checking that am I on my right path? Am I doing anything where I'm not comfortable? So a lot of mindfulness, a lot of awareness I lead. And I will not repeat the mistakes I did. I took my health for granted, and I don't know if that caused the health crisis in my life or not, but definitely it didn't help me. And I will not do what I know are not good for the health. So and basically, this whole life is such a gift. And when I had cancer and I was going for walks, and I really wanted to hug people and tell them that, it's such a gift to have this life. It's such a gift to have a healthy life. Please, just let's enjoy this, because we take it for granted. We don't take it as a gift. And when it's time to go, that's when we realize, oh my God, we had this and we really didn't value it. So I wanted to hug people, say that, yay, we are alive, let's enjoy. So a lot of things shifts, a lot of things changed. The way I see and experience life has changed. I guess.
Thank you, Manisha. You're very dear to us, and thank you for those sharing your thoughts. I thank you, Deepshika, the entire team. Your work gives meaning to the expression service to humanity. And thank you, Brahmaputra Literary Festival, for providing generously the stage so that we all could interact with Manisha. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you.
দাদা প্লিজ আৰু গৈ থাকক না দাদা ওলাই দিয়ক